With me this morning, Josh Frydenberg and Ed Husic. Ed Husic, the campaign starting in North Queensland for the opposition leader, the focus, he wants it on education. You can see why. Obviously, that's your home turf, but distractions each day from, for example, the candidate in Melbourne, and then yesterday that photograph of the member for Herbert on the asylum seeker issue. How damaging is that for your broader campaign when you want the focus on jobs, on education, health and renewable energy, and this is, distracting the first 2 days of the campaign?
Well, in an issue that's been one of the most contentious issues in over a decade, people are going to have varying views, and I think that's healthy in a democracy. The bottom line is this, that we are absolutely focused on ensuring that people smugglers don't get back into business, that we protect people's lives, and that we also have arrangements in place that sidestep the type of problems that the coalition has faced, where some people are waiting nearly 500 days to get processed, and we have deep concerns about the oversight of the offshore facilities. We do need to make sure that we have independent oversight, that we protect children, that we speed up the processing, that we work with the UNHCR, that we have regional arrangements. These are the things that we should have in place. But again, I wouldn't get too distracted by the fact that people have differing views, because quite frankly that has been a feature of this debate for many, many years.
And including when the Howard government was in office, Josh Frydenberg, you'd concede that, given your predecessor in the seat of Kooyong, Petro Georgiou, was one of the toughest critics of some of the harder line approaches here. So it's tough for you then to be critical of divergent views here.
Not at all, Kieran. I mean, we have delivered, first under the Howard government and now under the Abbott and subsequently Turnbull governments, a very strong border protection policies that have actually delivered results. They've stopped the loss of life at sea. They've stopped the huge cost blowouts to the budget. I mean, we've closed 17 detention centres. The Labor actually opened 17 detention centres, and what we did, importantly, was we've removed every child out of detention, which peaked at 2,000 children under the Labor Party's time in office. And we're only day 3 of the campaign, and we're already seeing cracks in the facade of the Labor Party's border protection policies. More than a dozen candidates and members on the Labor Party side have already indicated their displeasure with the opposition's policy in this regard. And you had the embarrassment yesterday of Cathy O'Toole, the Labor Party's candidate in Townsville, having to be stopped by Bill Shorten answering questions on this topic because he was too embarrassed for the media to hear the answers. And then you've got Melissa Park, another Labor Party member, who has said, quote, "It's inevitable that the Labor Party will have to change their position." Inevitable. I mean, what is the day in this campaign that we're going to hear a change position from the Labor Party? I think they're going to to and fro on this issue for a long time to come.
Well,
and you've got to look at what they did and what they're saying.
Well, Ed Husic, even Anthony Albanese at the ALP conference last year said that he could never support turnbacks, and was making it clear. I think others abstained, front benches like Penny Wong got others to vote, proxies to vote for them because they couldn't be seen to be voting or didn't want to be supporting your formal policies. So it might be seen as the government whipping this up for its own political purposes, but isn't there a grain of truth to it as well?
Nope, because if you look at the parallels between then and now, it's this. Then you had people who had differing views. Yep, totally understand that. We can understand why. There are a lot of people that are obviously have deep concerns within this debate. But the ultimate decision back in National Conference was a unified policy that would ensure that we would, as I said earlier, stop the people smuggling business. Fast forward to today, you might have people that make the statements that they do, but the ultimate test is the policy, and the policy that Labor has got is clear and unambiguous, and we will be sticking to it.
Not helpful though in a political sense at the campaign when you're trying to focus on education and health and other matters.
We've got a lot that we can talk about. We've got 100 positive policies on the table. We've got a game plan or a roadmap for the future of the nation. We're out there talking about it. I'm more than happy to keep talking about it here on Sky AM Agenda. I'm even happy to talk about
Prime Minister's going to
your
be...
Ripper New Facebook page.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Appreciate the
plug,
boost. But
no invoice.
Just quickly on the western suburbs before we go, the Prime Minister's there today. Just your thoughts on that. The suggestion that the western suburbs maybe not his natural base, given the Point Piper member for Wentworth, Ed Husic. Your reflections on that as the Prime Minister heads to the western suburbs marginal seats today.
Oh, well, I welcome the fact that he's discovered Western Sydney in an election. I would have much preferred that he actually backed the type of things that Western Sydney wants. And one of the biggest things in our area is a concern about the future of our schools. And right now, the Baird government has a massive backlog on maintenance of schools. So you see schools that are literally falling apart. That's been exacerbated by the billions cut out of education by the Abbott-Turnbull government. And then with a Prime Minister that says he's looking to walk away from properly funding public education, which in Western Sydney means a great deal to people,
okay.
It's going to be a big issue. So, he can go out to Western Sydney, come out to our part of the world and explain to us why he thinks that we don't deserve proper education.
Well, he's going to be back there at the People's Forum on Friday night. Josh Frydenberg, just 20 seconds to wrap it up this morning. We're almost out of time.
Oh, well, the PM's message about tax cuts for small business, personal income tax for middle income earners, greater infrastructure spending. We've taken a decision after 50 years of indecision about a second airport. All those issues will resonate with the people in Western Sydney, where he will be warmly welcomed.
Josh Frydenberg, Ed Husic, we're going to go. Talk to you soon. Quick break, back in just a moment.
Thank you.